Happy New Year to all of you. So as we enter 2024, millions of Americans are wondering whether the federal government will be sending out more relief. Many governors are taking matters into their own hands and are in the process of approving huge relief packages. This comes as lawmakers in the House and Senate face a government shutdown deadline. My dear friends, I'll be sharing with you the latest news in Congress. So please make sure that you watch until the end of this video. Also, this coming Friday, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter the weekly giveaway, friends, please click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning these weekly giveaways.
There are a number of barriers, and I think, one of them is while applying, a lot of people get their health insurance through the acquisition of these SSDI benefits. So just from the beginning, if like with my first example with a woman who was terminated before she applied, she has an additional barrier of not being able to access health insurance during the application process, which makes it harder to establish that you have the disability. But because of, chronic disinvestment, there has been customer service problems at SSA, which make it harder to access the agency. Some of the recommendations that we've had, which I know SSA is working on and I think will go farther with more funding, is making sure more of the applications are online, making sure things are more accessible, that there are people to call to get help. It is a very complicated system, and although some people get representatives, and in order to help them, there aren't enough. And I think making sure there are enough claims representatives to help people navigate, to understand the problems is really, really important. But finally, having this additional effort to make sure that DDSs get it right the first time by really taking extra steps to make sure they're getting treating source evidence will help everyone access their benefits more quickly, because treating doctors are the ones that really know.
In your comments that you just made, and what Mr. Higgins questioned Ms. Davis, and specifically about Congress, talking about our responsibility, not talking about Social Security, our responsibility. That's what I'm most interested in hearing you talk about, our responsibility.
Well, thank you for the clarification, and you're right. So one of the things that Congress can do is they can help rework the statute and the regs to make sure Social Security is focusing on treating source evidence. There was a rule that used to prioritize treating source evidence called the treating physician rule that was eliminated. And that should come back, because if everyone is focusing on the treating doctor, we will get to the right decision, or Social Security will get to the right decision earlier, which will really impact things. But the other thing that Congress can do is funding. Make sure not only it's one time, but sustained funding, so Social Security can do the work they need to do to make customer service better and make it easier to access these benefits.
So friends, according to The Hill, Congress faces an avalanche of government funding work when it returns from the holidays this month. It has little time to complete it ahead of a looming government shutdown deadline under the stopgap bill, which was passed in November. Congress is staring down 2 cutoff dates in January and February to keep our government funded. Now, with less than a month to go until the first deadline on January 19th, lawmakers are clashing over next steps. While some conservatives remain hopeful that they will be able to pass their individual government funding bills for fiscal 2024, many are signaling openness to passing a minibus as work lags on the 12th annual funding bills. GOP Representative Tom Cole heads a House subcommittee that passes the annual funding bills for the Department of Transportation and Housing and Urban Development. He has told reporters it's going to be very difficult to get all of the appropriation bills we have to get done in time if we don't have the top line number. So we are going to have to make some tough decisions in early January. The House passed 7 GOP spending bills, while the Senate has passed a so-called maxibus of 3 bills. But the bills passed look vastly different between both chambers. There's also concern about the status of a handshake deal struck between the White House and House GOP leadership that could mean additional funding for non-defense programs under new Speaker Mike Johnson. The prospect of Congress having to pass another stopgap funding bill to prevent a shutdown becomes more likely the longer that lawmakers fall behind in their annual spending work. Appropriators were already worried about the lack of a top-line agreement between leadership from both parties before leaving town for the holidays. So if Congress resorts to another stopgap, it will be the third continuing resolution that lawmakers have had to pass since September to prevent a shutdown and buy more time for spending talks. But there is some uncertainty as to what kind of stopgap bill could even notch a necessary bipartisan backing for passage. But with Congress struggling to reach a deal, many Americans are looking to their state government to pass additional financial relief. This is especially as the cost of living and inflation remains very high. A former state treasurer and the chief data officer for a key state department are among the policy experts. Governor Phil Murphy picked to advance a planned overhaul of the state-funded property tax relief for New Jersey seniors. The formation of the 6-member Tax Relief Task Force in early December capped off an eventful year in New Jersey state efforts to ease the burden of property tax bills. Currently, they now average close to $9,500 across the state. Many homeowners and renters were able to collect 2 rounds of property tax relief payments in 2023 under the state's Anchor program, with a total haul topping $3,200 for many senior homeowners. Governor Murphy also enacted a new law in late June that will make it easier for many seniors to qualify for reimbursements provided by the popular Senior Freeze Relief Program. The deadline has just passed for eligible state residents to apply for $1,750 in property tax relief through the state's Anchor program. But among the biggest questions that lawmakers are facing is whether the state can continue to afford generous property tax relief initiatives and to also make good on a promise to do even more. Under current law, the program would fund direct credits and would cut property tax bills in half for homeowners at least the age of 65, making up to $500,000 annually, with a maximum planned annual credit of $6,500. This planned tax break has been widely praised by senior advocacy groups, but drawn criticism for leaving out renters. That is the end of my daily stimulus update video for today. Dear friends, thank you very much for being part of this community. To say thank you and to show my appreciation, every Friday I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos and comment below the videos of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, dearest friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways. Thank you and have a wonderful and very blessed week.